You know how the right wing likes to compare Marxism to a religion, saying how it's messianic and that the leader is always held up as some kind of spiritual being?
Well, Jason Unruhe, let's see what Noam Chomsky, a member of the left, has to say about Marxism.
Now, Marxism, the concept, in my view, belongs to the history of organized religion. It's a kind of worship of an individual that makes no sense. If you look at Marx himself and other people who've been working in that tradition, you learn what's valuable, you disregard what's wrong.
But despite Marx's shortcomings, which is putting them in the absolute lightest of terms, Jason still apparently doesn't consider him to be wrong in any regard. This is especially evident in a video he posted just earlier this year entitled "Where Marx Was Totally Wrong," which ended up just being an April Fool's joke. And it sure as shit fooled me. I mean, when I first stumbled upon this video, I was genuinely excited. I thought to myself, he's finally exhibiting some form of skepticism. Alas, I was disappointed. He's still clinging on to his ideologies in the face of overwhelming evidence against him, the way Kent Hovind clings to creationism. It's truly sad, but if there's anything worth salvaging from the #1 Marxist on YouTube's flavor of communism, it's videos like this one. Marxism isn't a religion, capitalism is, where Jason makes what is probably the worst and most redundant strawman argument against capitalism and markets that I have ever heard. Try not to enjoy it too much.
Never mind the complete hypocrisy that they do. They actually do that with Ron Paul, and they think that if Ron Paul gets elected, all problems mysteriously disappear.
I don't know what the point is to bring Ron Paul into this, because that's essentially the mindset of all voters.
Now, I too, in a political ideology that rejects religion, this ain't true. And what I would like to do is point out the utter hypocrisy of these people.
Oh, I'm so scared.
So, Marxism predicated on the idea that if we all work together, we can build a better society, which would be just absolutely horrible.
No. No. Seriously? This is your own ideology, and you can't even get the definition of it right. Well, for those of you who are also unaware, Marxism actually predicates itself upon the idea of the class struggle between the proletariat, the working class, and the bourgeoisie, the class who owns most of society's wealth and means of production. When what Marx called the contradictions between these two classes become greater, then social revolution will occur, resulting in the overthrow of the bourgeoisie. This has nothing to do with all of us working together. It's about ridding society of the owners of wealth and production. You don't need to read Ask Capital to figure that out either. It's a Wikipedia search away.
Well, capitalism is predicated on the idea that markets can cure everything.
So Marxism will cure everything? Even the Google definition of capitalism doesn't claim that. Capitalism just means that the means of production are privately owned. And I'll explain later how we're all capitalists in that sense, but in all my years of exploring economic and political theory, being active in the Liberty movement, reading an extensive and growing collection of books published by the Mises Institute and other reputable organizations, conversing and engaging with well-known liberty-minded academics, and even working for a libertarian think tank, I have never, ever heard anyone claim that markets cure everything. Now, before I elaborate, let's define what markets are, because Jason isn't going to give a definition and probably never will, since... spoiler alert. He more than likely doesn't even know what it means. Essentially, markets are the media by which individuals exchange with other individuals. Exchanges will only take place if the persons about to conduct a transaction feel they will be made better off, or profit, from the exchange. An example of this is you, watching this video right now, because you value watching or doing something else less than watching me. And in return, I get a view from you, which is a success in my book. Yay us. So who in the right mind would say that markets fix everything? This is a blatant use of a nirvana fallacy, which means to compare actual things with unrealistic and idealized alternatives, or to assume that there is a perfect solution to a particular problem. Nothing is perfect. Markets aren't going to solve the problems of the world overnight. But, to put it basically, a good reason why libertarians especially promote a freer market-based society in the first place is because when the means of production are collectively owned by the state, people, as history shows, are made worse off. But here's the kicker. Marx himself actually believed capitalism was a necessary stage in society for revolution to occur, because it was only through the technological innovation brought about by the Industrial Revolution that society could achieve a, get this, post-scarcity society. Let that sink in. He clearly laid this out in the Grundrisse that once there is full technological automation, society would be free of material constraints, resulting in basically everyone getting free shit. Any rational person sees how illogical that is. And yet you're trying to defend an ideology based on the findings of a man who had more faith in capitalism than Adam Smith, Ludwig von Mises, Ayn Rand, myself, or any other liberty-minded thinker and advocate, by saying we're all religious.
Now that is irony!
Particularly the stateless capitalists, they're even worse for this.
Stateless capitalism is a redundant term. The state has the monopoly on force. It achieves its wealth ultimately at the point of a gun through taxation. However, individuals under a capitalist system achieve wealth through non-violent and voluntary exchange. No state can exist in a pure capitalist system.
So they're actually the religious fundamentalists. Remember, all problems can be solved by the market.
Okay, who the hell says that? Give me one, just one name of anyone who... Whatever, I forgot. Just carry on.
Inequality, racism, sexism, and every other problem can be solved through the market. The market will iron all this out.
Well, seeing as how historical tragedies like slavery and the disenfranchisement of women were enforced and upheld by the government in the first place, the market did a much better job at resolving those than the state ever could. And seriously, what's with this equality fetish that leftists like him are constantly pushing? Beyond A is A, there is no such thing as equality in any genuine sense. Inequality isn't a structure, it is a condition. It is a human condition. It's the reason why some people are more qualified to be basketball players or university professors than others. I am not anybody's equal, and nobody is my equal. I am an individual. To put it in the way Ayn Rand would, I am a means to my own ends. And to put it in the way Minor Threat did, I'm a person just like you.
So basically, capitalists, particularly stateless capitalists, believe that the market, some mystical being that they can't control, will just magically fix everything.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong.
And that you can't change how Adam Smith wrote capitalism, because if you do anything like that, they put in any kind of regulation, that's like rewriting the Bible. The market is perfect and will fix absolutely everything.
Anyone who didn't fall asleep during their economics class in high school would know that in Adam Smith's An Inquiry into the Nature and the Causes of the Wealth of Nations, he stated that government's maximum role should be to provide defense, uphold the law, and provide goods and services that the market can't provide. Those are all regulations. He wasn't a market fundamentalist, and neither was Ludwig von Mises or Ayn Rand. You aren't making an argument.
With this basically idiotic argument that some magical force fixes all problems and that it's holy and cannot be touched or altered in any way, is a completely religious standpoint.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
So, for those of you capitalists, stateless capitalists, you know, well, I mean, by you, actual working class people who pretend they're capitalists by calling themselves that, because you don't own any means of production and you don't employ anybody in your use. You're a wage slave like everybody else.
Actually, those wage slaves, as you call them, do own means of production. They implement their faculties, which they own, in order to produce things of value that are exchanged in the market. And they are employers too. The other wage slaves they exchange goods and services with are being employed by them, and vice versa.
But you like to pretend and call yourself a capitalist so that you don't feel like you're one of the lower class.
Oh, yeah, right. Like the way you pretend to be a Marxist and despise capitalism, but still put ads in your videos, own a Patreon page, and sell your books on Lulu.com. Yeah.
That's a good one.
And by the way, I'm going off script here, but Stefan Molyneux, anarcho-libertarian capitalist, etc., he has books on Lulu.com too. And you have the option of buying them, but you can go on his website, on freedomainradio.com, and you can download them for free in many formats, and you can download the audiobooks as well, free of charge. But in order to read Jason's books, you have to purchase them to gain access to that information. I've looked extensively, and I can't find any way to read them without having to purchase them. I mean, this is just... oh my God.
You are the religious group. You're the one who supports a messianic conception of economics and politics.
Wrong! Tell them what they've lost, Johnny!
Well, you've lost all respect from anyone who ever took you seriously. All hope that you would ever say anything intelligent. But that's not all. You also get a phone call from our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
I hate you.
Well, better luck next time. Never play again. Good night!
Because markets fix everything magically without interference from man, just like God. We believe that if we work together, we can fix society's problems.
So, what you've been trying to say throughout this entire video is libertarians are silly for believing that people working together will fix society's problems, and Marxists are right because they believe that people working together will solve society's problems.
Boy, if you don't get...
Oh wait, you're not predicated on trying to fix society's problems. You're predicated on trying to make money off them.
I'm predicated off trying to make money off them. Yeah, yeah, Jason, it's so horrible wanting to make money off of other people. I mean, you would never do such a thing, right? Yeah, right.
Oh, I guess in that case you're just complete fail.
I'm just complete fail. Was that supposed to hurt my feelings?
I feel like
Did the high school dropout just use a high school level insult?
I feel like Jason Unruhe was that kid in high school
No.
who would like Naruto run to class every day.
Like you wore the headband.
Sensei.
Well, I'm done here. Play me out, new colonists.
This is a time when you will try to reach your goal. You concentrate on the chosen word to free your mind from the troubled world, and you'll free